Welcome. Today we talk about The Scream by Edvard Munch. It was painted in 1893 and it is kept at the National Museum in Oslo. Despite being quite a disturbing painting, it is one of the most famous in the world. It is considered the Mona Lisa of our times. According to the artist, it represents his soul. Rather than adhering to the realistic style of the time, he chose to paint his emotions in a confused way, making this painting a masterpiece of the Expressionism movement. Munch explained that he painted a moment of existential crisis. He was walking down a road in Oslo with his friends while the sun was setting, creating a beautiful background. While looking at the sky in front of them, he suddenly stopped. He then described having a panic attack. He suddenly became tired, anxious, claustrophobic, and the weight of nature and of the world hit him all at once. He said, "The sun was setting and the clouds turned as red as blood. I sensed a scream passing through nature. I felt as though I could actually hear the scream. I painted this picture, painted the clouds like real blood. The colors shrieked." So, in the painting he is not necessarily screaming, but he is reacting to the scream that he thinks he heard. Munch had quite a traumatic life, which could have caused this crisis. He lost his mother and his sister to tuberculosis when he was young, and his other sister had just been committed to a mental hospital. He also suffered a lot of abuse by his father, who did not approve of his career in art. It's clear that the trauma of his childhood inflicted many mental health issues on him, and this is reflected in his works. The scream was not simply a product of stress or panic. It symbolizes the troubled times Munch was experiencing as he dealt with mental illness and trauma. It is his attempt to rationalize and explain his experience through what he knew best, painting. The oppressing brightly colored swirling sky and the curving landscape are reminiscent of the vision Munch describes. He portrays a world that seems to be spinning out of control. The figure looks like it's melting with the background, creating chaos and disorientation. The linearity of the bridge that cuts through the image is in contrast with the curving distortions of the landscape. It represents a man-made creation which is not affected by the troubles of the environment around it. Likewise, the two figures at the back, probably his friends, do not seem to be moved by the panic felt by the artist. This emphasizes that the work is a depiction of internal struggle, anxiety and confusion. Munch is alone with his terror, and no one can understand him. On the upper left corner there is a tiny inscription which says, "Can only have been painted by a madman." However, it is not known whether it was an act of vandalism, or Munch himself wrote that. The figure is painted in a minimal way. The eyes are just two circular swipes of paint, the nose and the mouth look also very basic, and the figure is hairless. This helps the viewer to concentrate the attention on the excruciating expression. Munch actually made 4 versions of this painting, all transmitting the same feeling of anguish and anxiety. The Scream is such a famous painting because we can all relate to it. Anxiety is something that many people suffer, regardless of the time period they live in. We are human. We go about our lives, and we experience things that we would rather not have experienced. The scream scares us, but not just because of the ghostly face frozen in horror. It is the fact that the painting itself is so relatable that its fame has withstood hundreds of years. Its popularity has not faded. When we look at the painting, we see ourselves in it, frozen in a perpetual scream of horror. It is our anxiety, our hurt, our suffering, our mental illness. We, too, suffer alone. What do you think? Can you relate to Munch's pain? Leave a comment.